Hello, welcome to Excellence. We are discussing previous year questions as part of Kalam Mains Answer Writing Program. So we are in the season 3 and in the third week of Kalam Program, where we discuss previous year questions and try to understand how to write good, effective and quality answers for these questions. And in this third week, we are on the third day discussing Indian society. I hope you like the approach we took to the previous two questions over the last 2 days. So today we'll take up another question, third question. First day we discussed, if you look at the way at which we are approaching questions, is a pattern. On the first day we discussed the general diversity and its relevance to India's cultural spectrum. Then we discussed urbanization issues. We took up a question on smart villages and smart cities. Today we take up another very important question, another very important area, that is women issues. So today we are taking up gender, women issues. Of course, over the next few days we will also discuss caste issues and tribal issues. So today's focus is on women. What is the question? The question is about examine whether rural women in India have been empowered by their active participation in the Panchayat Raj system. The question is, I'll read it again. Examine whether rural women in India have been empowered by their active participation in the Panchayat Raj system. It is for 10 marks and it is about 150 words. Now, what are the steps we discussed in the previous 2 days about how to write answer? What is the first step? What is the first step? The first step is to break down the question. We have to break down the question. Second, we try to write the answer. Answer, we said, has 3 broad areas, I, B, C. So first is to break down the question and understand what is the demand of the question. So breaking down involves identifying the demand of the question, and then once we identify the demand, we organize our knowledge, our content into introduction, body, conclusion. This is the format. Please keep this in mind. This is very, very important. Let us look at the question now and try to break it down and see what are the demands. The question is about women, that too rural women, and their relationship with Panchayat Raj system. So basically the question is asking you to examine, analyze whether women have benefited from Panchayat Raj system, or to put it in other words, more simpler terms, they are asking what is the impact of Panchayat Raj system on rural women? Has it improved their lot or has it not improved their lot? Before you now start organizing content, first this question is asking for an opinion, isn't it? This is a opinion based question. So first try to identify what is your opinion. From that you generate content. So some questions are very passive. They don't look for opinion. They are asking you to enumerate, comment, so on. But questions like this one are not in that category. They are asking you to have an opinion, examine whether. So this is an opinion based question. You will write various points, you will examine various viewpoints, but your opinion is very, very important. So first try to see what's your opinion. The central, any informed person will think that yes, Panchayat Raj system has definitely improved women's lot. There will be some pessimists who say, hey, it has not really done so. It is the husbands, brothers or sons who are using the power. But in reality, any reform, when it is done, any reform to address a long pending injustice has its effect over phases. It has its effect gradually. So we cannot expect Superman solutions here. So the change is happening, but maybe it is not a revolution but an evolution. So women have certainly benefited, and it is not, the benefits take time to manifest themselves. So over the past 20-25 years, we've seen that women have definitely benefited from the system. So now let us see how do we organize points and content around this opinion. The opinion is that yes, women have certainly benefited, but now we have to write an answer that talks about how they have benefited, the reasons behind it, and yet what are still the issues, some stumbling blocks behind making this Panchayat Raj system a real potent weapon for addressing or alleviating gender injustice. So let us look at this question. What is the introduction? The introduction is actually quite good. I like this introduction. What does the introduction say? It says it is referring to 73rd Constitutional Amendment, made the establishment of PRS constitutional and broad democracy. A general comment. By reserving seats for women, they have become leaders and are at the forefront of change. Okay. But this is good. The only issue is this is a long introduction. Slightly long. Both these are essentially introduction. We cannot write such a long introduction. So, you can condense this into one paragraph, not two paragraphs. You can say 73rd Constitutional Amendment. This is not necessary. This whole grassroots democracy. This is not about PRIs. This is about PRIs and women. So, all this is not necessary. You could just say 73rd Amendment while bringing grassroots democracy also empowered women by reserving 1/3 seats for them. That's all. Over. You need not write in such a long fashion. So please, when it's 10 marks, you cannot be verbose. No, this is not an essay competition. This is not a college debate, nor are you an MP in a parliament with endless time to speak. So verbosity is our enemy. So in the civil service exam, verbosity is one of our most serious enemies. So we must never do this. Always hit the bullseye. Be precise, be crisp. That's it. Okay. So you can just condense this into one point, one paragraph. Next, the student has shifted to examining whether rural women have been empowered, and the focus is on what is the nature of this empowerment. So the student said yes, rural women have been empowered. So yes, the student has made an opinion. This is what I said. This is very, very good. The examiner now thinks the student, yes, has understood the question and has taken a stand. Taking a stand is very important in such questions. Most often, what students do is, when they don't have an opinion, they hide behind the bush and they try to beat around the bush. So they try to say various things without exactly saying what is the central thing. And trust me, an examiner has enough experience to understand when the student has understood, when he or she is trying to distort, deviate and obfuscate. So let us not do any of that. So here a stand is being taken and it has been clearly mentioned. What does the student say here? Today, very good. A statistic has been provided. This is what I meant by value addition in the first video. So a statistic to corroborate her or his viewpoint. Today, 45.2% of elected representatives at the PRA level are women. So they have definitely got leadership roles. Second, care ethics. Women sarpanch ensure, very good. A key word has been used. As I said, the second point in brownie point, second way to get brownie points is specificity. This is another way to get specificity using key terms. Care ethics, very good. Decision making roles have made them heads of the family. Good, they have gained decision making power. Next, women have given grassroots solutions to local problems. In Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, there is reduction in domestic violence. Very good. Student has linked how women empowerment can lead to solving other social problems like domestic violence, female feticide. Of course, there are many others like some alcoholism or prohibition practices, because women are the chief opponents of alcohol consumption because alcohol destroys families. Next, increase in girl child literacy and increase in girl child's food allocation. Her share in the food increases, girl child's literacy improves, and overall improvement in reproductive health of women. So in villages where women have active participation, you will see that there are far lesser infant and infant mortality and maternal mortality, that is IMR, MMR. These are in villages where you have stronger women empowerment. So overall the points are good, but these could also be added. The given points in the given framework is good, but these could also be added. These are social impact. Second, last student has also touched on economic impact. This is fifth point is talking about the economic impact, that is through SHGs, please. SHGs are very, very, very important for women's economic empowerment. In fact, SHG is, if I might say this, is one of India's unique innovations in the sphere of gender empowerment. So the concept of SHG has come a long way in improving women's status, women's allocation, and giving women's agency and control over their own lives. So SHG is a very, very important concept, and SHG has taken off very well where women have also been given political power at the Panchayat Raj. So this is a very good analysis. But there are some issues. So these points have been missed, and the other issue is in terms of point placement. This is also important. This is point placement. It is not just important to write all points, but the way you write the points also makes a difference. What do I mean by this? Let us say you have 5 points. Of these, 3 are more important, 2 are next level importance. These are very core, these are of level 2. These 3 must come first, these 2 must come next. So for example, decision making, SHGs, these grassroots solutions, these must come first. They cannot be 3rd, 4th and 5th, please. So the way you prioritize your points also tells the examiner whether you understood a particular concept or not. If you are writing some trivial point first and very important point last, that tells yes, this student has no judgment. He is just dumping. We should not give that image. So these points have been missed. Point placement can be improved. And last, this whole thing can be explained through a flow chart. The flow chart could have been a much needed value addition. What is a flow chart? You could have started something like explain the whole process of women empowerment through panchayats, like women at PRI. Next, women, this leads to women's SHG movement, a strong SHG movement. This leads to increased incomes. Second, leads to increased self-confidence. This is very, very important. And because of patriarchy, many women lack self-confidence. They don't have self-confidence. They think they don't know anything. They think they cannot go about life without menfolk. So this gives self-confidence. What does this do? So this is you can now say this is economic impact. Next, this leads to some social changes. First, as we discussed, girl, child, allocation, food allocation increases at home. Second, girl, child's literacy improves. All the points we discussed, social benefits, girl, child literacy, alcohol, you can talk about domestic violence, then you can talk about health, IMR, MMR. So explain all these. You can draw this flow chart. That would have been a much better way of writing this answer. First step led to second, second led to third, third led to this, and these are economic impact and these are social impacts. So all of this leads to, in general, women's increased role at family decision making. So this is very important because when women's decision making improves, when women's decision making at family improves, the children and especially girl child benefit, because when men have decisions, men use this power to just take care of themselves, but when women are empowered, it benefits women themselves, it also benefits children. Children get better food, better education, better access to healthcare. So empowering a woman benefits the family. So that's why women empowerment is very, very important. Next, some concerns remain. What are they? Sarpanch Pati syndrome, a very classic issue with women reservation. Women act as proxies for husbands. So husbands, sons, siblings, they take over this issue. Next, still patriarchy is existing in villages. In fact, villages are the operational hubs for patriarchy. So many do not accept women as leaders, or in some places they even gossip, ridicule, make mockery of women sarpanches, trying to put them off. Lack of skills, lack of illiteracy and political awareness, good. But we can now add some important points. For example, one important issue is that along with Panchayat Raj, there is a system of rotation. What is this rotation? 1/3 of villages have reserved for women, right? 1/3 of villages are reserved for women. So 1/3 for one 5-year term. In the next 5-year term, second another 1/3. In third 5-year term, another 1/3. The cycle goes on from here, next again it goes here. So this rotation, because of this rotation policy, women are not allowed enough time to really make meaningful change. Meaningful change takes a long time, 10, 20 years. So this rotation system keeps shifting. Before they settle in, understand the system and initiate a project, their term is over, the tenure is over. And because of rotation, a woman leader is not able to deepen her links in the constituency. If there is good sarpanch, if she is for sarpanch for 10 years, she is good. What can she do? She can form connections, political linkages. Next, she can move to mandal level leader. Next, she can move to MLA or MP. But this progression does not happen because of rotation system. Rotation system just makes sure that women do not grow. This rotation policy is a strong disincentive against women's progressive growth in politics. So this has to be addressed. Next, what are the government efforts? What did the government do? The government did Ministry of Panchayat Raj women made women leadership an integral part of Gram Panchayat Development Plan. Very good point. You can add a second point. Second point is what is called as Mahila Sabhas. In the recent Women's Day, March 8, 2020, Ministry of Panchayat Raj and Ministry of Women organized a campaign, a large program where they constituted Mahila Sabhas, and in this Mahila Sabhas, women were given training in land records, computer skills, they were trained in their entitlements and so on. So this Mahila Sabha brings many women folk together and inculcates a spirit of self-help so that they can help each other and collectively fight patriarchy. Each woman by herself cannot fight patriarchy, but a group of women together can fight a patriarchy. And the conclusion is also good, that it is only by active participation of women that participatory democracy is ensured. So overall it's a good answer, but these specific innovations and additions can be made. So with that we conclude today's answer and we introduce the next question. The next question is also about women. It's about male membership needs to be encouraged in order to make women's organization free from gender bias. Wow, very, very interesting question, isn't it? Many of us look at men as enemies to women, that men are the real nuisance creators and they are the obstacles to women's empowerment. But this question challenges that view. It's asking that male membership is needed even to empower women. Think on this question, think of an answer. We'll come back again tomorrow. Until then, take care. Goodbye.